Hey, what is going on YouTube? East Tactics here. Actually, I just want to make a video because I'm excited about some of the stuff that's going to be dropping on my channel. First and foremost, in regards to the dual shock springs experiment, I'm still running the dual shocks in the rear end, and I'm running the big rock shocks, which is a single shock in the front end. As many of you may or may not have watched, I did do a bash video at a skate park, and I didn't break a single thing. I mean, I did actually pop a ball end right here because I just ran into a wall. But as far as the way that the vehicle performed with a lot more rigidity in the shocks, I was really impressed, especially when you're romping on concrete. So if you haven't checked out that video, here's a link to it. So anyway, the next development for the shock spring experiment is M2C Racing shock caps. So these are an extremely interesting design. There's actually an O-ring that goes around the edging of the piston so that the rebound is slowed down because the oil inside of the shock itself kind of exerts itself up through some special holes. See those little side holes? Not the circular ones, but the little more like dash marks or whatever, like in between. Oil goes up in that and then comes out the side of the actual piston, and it puts pressure on the O-ring, and it makes it to where it kind of squeezes the sidewalls of the actual shock chamber itself to decrease the rebound effect. And as you guys know, with these extremely stiff shocks, the rebound is the main contributor to the bounce. Even though the bounce, in my opinion, isn't that bad, I still want to figure out the best way to kind of get rid of it. So that's the next step. Okay, the other thing that's coming up on my channel, as many of you may or may not be aware, that's been following me, I have been I had to drop back to my stock servo because my higher end servo, the Savox here, actually went out on me. No servo is impervious to going out, so for whatever reason this one went out and I had to remove it and put back my stock servo. And my stock servo has been, it's been doing fine, especially with the modification that I did to the servo saver. If you guys haven't seen that video, it's probably my most popular video, and a lot of people have really needed to improve their steering because the servo savers stock from Arrma are just not tight enough. Anyway, check that video out. But I had to send this back to Savox to get a new servo sent out to me. I finally have it, and which means I can finally install the Castle Creations external BEC. Why do I want an external BEC? Well, because the stock servo only goes up to 6 volts. So the amount of torque that's presented to the tires is actually, reduced quite a bit. Whereas these ones, you can go up to 7.4 volts. So if you throw a higher end like Savox servo into your vehicle, you're not really running it to its full capacity, which many of you know because you've watched some of my videos. So I'm going to be installing I'm going to be reinstalling that Savox servo and then installing the BEC, which I've decided that I'm going to be putting the BEC right here. So the BEC itself fits down in there just right. It's already a waterproof external BEC, so I don't have to worry about it getting wet. However, as many of you may not be aware, Arrma is going to be releasing a bunch of new upgraded parts for the 6S lineup. One of the parts is actually a bigger receiver box, probably big enough for me to put the BEC inside here. If you don't buy this specific brand BEC, maybe you buy one that's not waterproof. So you can keep that in mind. Anyway, the way you install this, which I'll be kind of showcasing in a more detailed video, is you've got to run basically your red wire to the red terminal. So you'll snip this and you'll run it and solder it here. Then you'll take the black wire, which is here, and you'll run it to the black and and solder it on. So you'll snip it, solder it on, and then resolder it back together. Then you'll run these two terminals into your receiver, and basically, as far as installation, that's all you need to do to install a BEC, except for when you take the wire that is actually coming from your ESC in here, you've got to pull the red wire. Disregard this right here, that's just my old fan that I had here. This fan broke, and so I just snipped the wire because I was lazy and whatnot. Anyway, so one of the more important steps of installing a BEC involves the current wire that runs from your or the connector that runs from your ESC in here. You have to actually pull the red wire out of it if you install an external BEC. And that's the gist of it. I mean, in a nutshell, as far as how you install one of these. Again, I'm going to drop a video once I actually do it, which shows me, you know, snipping everything, soldering everything, to show you step by step. The other thing though you do need to keep in mind, and this isn't with all external BECs, this particular model has a range, I'm sorry for the glare, has a range of voltage that you can set it at, so you actually do have to plug this thing in to a computer, specifically a Windows computer, and actually go in and set where you want that voltage to be at. I think it comes stock at like 5 or 6 volts, which is already what is currently in the system. So I'll have to go in, download a little free program on Windows. But the sort of frustrating caveat with this external BEC is you actually have to buy a special I don't know, adapter to plug it into your computer to do it, and it's like 20 bucks for that. So again, not all BECs probably require you to do that. Some of them maybe come already set to 7.4 volts, I don't know. But the reason why I liked this specific model was because it came highly regarded as far as quality, and also it's waterproof. So my video installation in more detail when it comes to installing this external BEC will also show you how to, you know, go in, plug that into a Windows computer, change it over to 7.4 volts, and then you'll be good to go. So once I've got the external BEC in, and the new Savox servo, my servo will literally present a ton more power to my steering, making it to where when you're in like long grass and you're trying to turn, you'll notice that you lose a lot of the like radius of how tight you can turn when you're in grass, because it's just too weak. Like it doesn't present enough to the tires. So that's why you want to take advantage of an external BEC in this specific vehicle, because the system is only set up with this ESC at 6 volts. Anyway, so that's the other thing coming. I've kind of just given you the 411 on how to install it, basically by explaining it. Now, the next thing that I'm excited about showing you guys is, check this out. NTF. If you guys have seen some of my older videos, I brought up some pictures because I had gotten in connection to a guy that makes custom fans for your vehicle. And I dropped some pictures and showed you kind of some of the stuff that he was doing. Well, since that time, we've been in communication. His offering has been upgraded. He actually has come up with a more robust way of actually attaching his fans to the ESC, which is an upgraded fan, and also he's got a really nice setup for a motor fan to cool your motor. So just a quick showing. This is his fans, and to give you an idea, listen to the noise of your stock fan and how like powerful it is. I mean, you can hear it, not too bad, but listen to this fan. Let me hit the switch. I mean, this thing is powerful, and it's gonna sit right there on top of the ESC. Okay. Another thing that he offers is a heat sink with these fans installed, which I'm going to be installing right here. So here's the other crazy thing. These fans are so powerful, and they're going to provide so much more cooling to both the ESC and the motor, that they actually run, you actually want to run them on their own battery. So I'll be showing you exactly where I'm going to be putting this battery in my vehicle. I mean, obviously one small downside to having their own battery is the weight. This adds to your vehicle. But one nice thing is that you're not gonna be using the your larger battery to run any of your fans. So I'm gonna be running way more power and cooling to both my ESC and my motor, and it won't even be taking or drawing energy from my actual battery. It'll just be drawing energy from this and actually make my ride time, I guess, slightly longer. Well, I don't know exactly how much longer, but I'll be sure to let you know. So one of the things before I drop all the information on where to get his fans, where to get his heat sinks and all that stuff, is just installing it and really putting it to the test to see how much stronger they are. Because one of the things that I found is I've already broken 2 or 3 of my fans in here, mostly from hard landings on concrete. When you slap down really hard on concrete, for whatever reason, these fans break. So we'll be putting these new fans to the test and determining whether or not they are a lot more resistant to some serious bashing. And also we'll be testing how much cooler they keep your system, because literally they're like 3 times the blowing power than your stock ESC fan, which I think will lend a lot of performance and longevity to both your motor and your ESC over time. Anyway, so those are kind of 3 videos that I'll be expanding in more detail on in the near future, and I just thought I'd just drop a quick overview of all 3 of those things and let you know what's coming down the pipeline. Alright guys, well, I again really appreciate you watching my videos. If you're not a subscriber already, hit that subscription button, hit the bell so you're alerted of new and upcoming videos. I feel like I stand out a little bit, at least among other content creators in the genre, is I drop a bash video here and there, but one of my favorite things to really share is like different ways to improve your vehicle, from modifications to just little things that make your vehicle run better. Sometimes they're outside of the box things, like for instance, I have down in there, I have a turnbuckle video that basically shows you how to prevent that, where that little shine is right there, putting a little piece on that just so that it doesn't drop down and loosen up your steering. Little things like that, they go a long way. So also check out the description in all of my videos. I drop a really kind of thorough list of all the products that you can pick up for your Arrma style vehicles, and eventually when all those new parts start appearing, as far as like those extreme basher parts, I'll have those organized and presented in a one-stop location, if you will, and it makes your life a little bit easier. So I like to make sure that that's available in all of my videos, so as you're following me, you could just kind of click the description and quickly see what to get, where to get it, and that's basically, I don't know, the appeal. So anyway guys, again, thanks for watching my stuff. East Tactics out.